What is up, guys? In this video we're going to be testing out Last of Us Part 1 with lossless scaling and without it, running the Steam Deck with a TDP limit of 9 watts. And we're also going to enable disable frame limit, so we're going to see how much frame rate we can push with lossless scaling and without it, and if we need it or not. So without any further ado, let's get right into testing. I'm going to just show you the settings what we are running with. I think first we're gonna go to the display section and you can see how much VRAM we're actually using. Native Steam Deck resolution, we have unlocked frame rate, and I'm gonna turn off VSync and apply the changes. We don't have frame gen on because technically lossless scaling is our in-house or like actually our modded frame gen. Render scaling on quality, and pretty much these are the settings. Motion blur turned off. Now I'm gonna show the graphics settings as well. Everything on low because this game is kind of demanding on the Steam Deck. Like, it's still demanding on a PC, so let alone on a Steam Deck. As you can see, pretty much everything is on low or very low depending on the setting, how low it can go, or stuff are also like turned off for probably the greatest experience as far as frame rate. And these are like all the settings. So this is pretty much without lossless scaling. We are pretty much like targeting a 30 frame rate experience. It's playable, like you certainly can play like that. But I wouldn't mind to have a bit more frame rate. So without any further ado, I'm gonna just enable lossless scaling on 2 times and let's see how it actually performs. Now on 2 times it actually enhances our frame rate quite a bit, like it boosts our frame rate, but also some sort of latency comes alongside with it. So kind of like depends what you prefer. We are not always having a solid 60 frame rate here as expected, but it certainly enhances our frame rate, because otherwise I think our frames would simply in this particular area drop to like the 20s, which is not as good in Last of Us Part 1 over here, even on a Steam Deck. So one thing you can do is, since this game is really demanding, maybe turn on lossless scaling and set a frame limit of like 45 frames. I think that could potentially work out pretty great. I mean, you know, as you can see, whenever I move my controller over here, it moves. Yeah, there's a bit of a latency. It's like always, like whenever you're using lossless scaling. But I feel like this game certainly needs it on the Steam Deck. What was that? I'm gonna have to like switch the weapons up a bit. How do I even swap the weapons? I like to have the sniper rifle over here, and I don't even know where to scope. Okay, we got one actually, but now that's gonna be the tricky part. Is this... yeah. You dead? That was a great execution. Any more guys left over here, or... Alright, so I'm also gonna try now with 3 times lossless scaling. As far as frame rate, it's actually significantly more stable in the 60s. Obviously it drops here and there, but the latency is relatively huge. Like, wouldn't really call this a playable state. And yeah, like, we are already on the lowest settings as far as I think we can go. You're not really gonna get any more frame rate actually out of the Steam Deck when it comes to like the settings. So I would not really recommend, I never recommend to use lossless scaling on 3 times on the Steam Deck, because a lot of ghosting is like happening, and this time around we're actually running it with flow scale of like 90% over here, so it should run better overall, more smooth. But it's like, you know, still having its own issues. We can try, just out of fun, 4 times lossless scaling. Should be even worse. Yep, higher delay, a lot more, you know, stuff is like happening on the screen that nobody on earth wants to see. Let's switch back to 2 times. 2 times is like the sweet spot. Like, it adds a bit of delay, but since we don't have a lot of frames over here, like, we can't always reach like a solid 30 frame rate all the time. This pretty much, it boosts our frame rate with the lowest amount of input lag that we can have here. So it's like a nice trade-off, especially in a really demanding game like this on the Steam Deck. I would call that this game is totally playable on 2 times lossless scaling. Let me know what other games you would like to see with lossless scaling. Sometimes I don't have the games you guys would like me to test out. It takes a bit of time until I can get those, because sometimes those games are a bit like more expensive than what I actually want to pay for it. So I'm sorry for that, but I'm like trying to make a variety of games, or sometimes the games that I have already like tested before, but not with lossless scaling. Either way, take care as always, and I'm gonna see you in the next one.